everyone, my name is Hân Thủy Sinh Nhàn. Today I'm competing for English challenge on a topic whether online learning could be a substitute for traditional classroom. So first of all, I have a question for you. Have you ever learned online? I guess if you are a college student, you have absolutely experienced that. How do you feel? Some of my friends say it's really boring to study online, but others say it's kind of, effective to study online. So come with me and cut this problem. Okay, first of all, it is undeniable that online learning has benefited our life in many different ways, especially in education. The first thing I want to mention about online learning that is it is cheap. You know why? Because you just have a phone, a Wi-Fi connection. You can study, everything you want through the screen. I think it is the cheapest way of getting an education. So getting to another benefit of online learning, it is impossible not mention, is flexibility. Text me for example. I want to study English. I want to improve my English, but I don't want to study English Standard, which is really expensive and maybe I can't afford. So I chose to study online, which is more, flexible and also more cheaper. It is also cheaper. I chose that kind of education. So let's take another look at another benefit of online learning. Okay, regardless of age, location, how far you live, where you live, you just, studying online everybody can afford because you don't have to worry much about the money, about the finance. Like especially for those who are living in poor condition, maybe remote area, they can afford to this kind of education too. That is the competitive advantage compared to the traditional classroom. Take my uncle for example. He is 65 years old, but he's still enrolling a MBA courses in a different country, which is more expensive. Have to study in the traditional classroom, in the real one. Yeah. Although online learning is beneficial in life in many different ways, it still has some certain drawbacks that we can't deny. First of all, when it comes to studying in some subject related to chemicals or physical activities, like in PE lesson, which requires a lot of physical activities, and do some research in physics or chemic subject. That's really difficult to study through online. That is impossible. So let's take a look at another disadvantages of online learning. I have to say that who ensure the access to technology of everyone? People living in poor, mountainous area. The buying a phone or laptop is impossible because they have to worry about their life, try to meet ends. So how could they buy a laptop which is really expensive to them? And yeah, so maybe online learning, is really expensive. It's really beneficial us in many different ways. But right now, I'm trying to say that maybe it's kind of a really advanced method of education. However, it has still some certain disadvantages. And also, it can't replace the real one because it has its own birds. So we can't say that online learning can, to be a replacement for traditional classroom. Thank you for listening.